Hey guys, welcome in to the Out of Our Minds podcast. If you're an OG, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. You have literally just stepped inside of a full-on paradigm. If you clicked into this episode, I'm going to assume that you are either an artist, a visionary, or someone who just knows that they came here to create a life that is in alignment with their soul, a reflection of their essence. And we really do pride ourselves in being a world, a paradigm that once you step inside, as in you listen to these episodes, you receive these energetic transmissions, you are energetically activating your creative genius, you're aligning with your soul essence, you're remembering your power, and your visions and dreams are truly becoming the inevitable. That is what it is we are doing here at Om. So if this resonates with you, welcome in. You have just found probably one of the most expansive corners of the internet that is going to be your sacred space for the next chapter of your journey. And that brings me into today's episode. So today we have a freaking treat for you. You have just clicked into an episode that is going to solidify the shift that you have been experiencing over the past few weeks or maybe even months. But essentially what's been happening is there's more energy that is hitting our earth. There is more light and more data that we are feeling these days. And the beings who have been on this path of healing and seeking and awakening and kind of being in that hermit phase of really learning about their soul essence, we're starting to come out of that phase. And we are starting to remember that we not only came here to awaken those frequencies and those energies within, but we came here to do something with them. We came here to share our creative genius, our unique essence, and to truly activate new paradigms into this reality field through the energy and the unique essence that we all hold. So today we are bringing you on a journey that is going to highlight the past few phases of your journey that you've been experiencing. We won't spend too much time in the beginning phases, but the real meat of this episode that you're going to get so much out of is when we are highlighting the shift from the last phase that we were in into the current phase that we are experiencing, which is the activation of the creator being. We are literally all activating new levels of creator consciousness. And when I say creator consciousness, I'm saying like the consciousness within us that knows that we came here to literally create, to make art, to build our own paradigms. This is an energy that is awakening on such a powerful level within each and every one of us. So today you're going to be brought on a journey of tapping into the phases that you have been on and really diving deep into the previous phase as well as the shift of what it is you're experiencing. I won't say too much because I want you to just experience this episode, but I will say that you're going to come out of listening to this transmission with such a deep understanding and validation of what it is that you've been energetically and internally experiencing, and also a deep knowing and understanding of what it is you're meant to go focus on. So have fun with this episode. Definitely feel free to leave your comments below. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. You're going to want to stay around. Open your heart and get ready to receive exactly what it is you came here to receive. Do you have anything else that you want to share to kind of the intro of this?
I just feel so excited, not just the I, like me, but for what is taking place right now on the planet. It's very exciting. It's intense, has its moments, but today we're tapping into the part of this experience that it's time to double down on. And I just want you to know, if you are here listening to this, it is not by accident, especially if you've been following along with us for the 2 years that this podcast has existed. You are on this wave. You are a part of it. No matter when you find this, when you found us, there is a very divine reason that you landed here, that you clicked on this thumbnail, this episode title, all the things. And yeah, I just invite you to get on board with us, come on for this journey, and get excited to see what is going to unfold, because what we are tuning into is not just over here and over there. We are talking about earth shifting stuff that is also very of the light, of fun, and is going to wake a fuel and a life force up in you. And just trust that if you have that feeling that you're like, yep, I'm ready for this. If you're listening to the way we speak and it really resonates with you, there is a reason for that. So pay attention to your little pings and your downloads and what's landing for you, and let's party.
Yeah, truly. Hell yeah. Oh my God, amazing. Yeah, that life force part. I'm excited to chat more about that because I've been experiencing that and it's freaking nuts, truly. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We are going to kind of run through these different, I don't know, would you call them archetypes? It's like stages, phases.
Yeah, like phases.
Yeah, phases. And I invite you guys to really see yourselves through what it is that we're sharing. And eventually this will bring us to the phase that we are tapping into now, which is the awakening of the creator being. And this is creator consciousness we're talking about. We're not talking about Instagram influencers. We're not talking about content creators. We're talking about creator consciousness. So I don't know if I needed to put that disclaimer, but
no, I think that was
if you're here for some TikTok strategies, that's not what you're going to
get. No, that's a very powerful, important distinction, because that's part of what we're going to get into is creator consciousness, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
This
which
just
includes, if you're wanting
includes
to be
all of it, but
yeah.
it's just to say it's broader, okay?
Yeah.
Like we're including the sweater knitters and the
homesteaders,
woodworkers and the homesteaders. You're all coming with us. Carry on.
Oh, God. Yeah. All right. I'm excited for this. So let's get into this. We'll keep the first few phases of this pretty short because we've all been there, done that. And we don't need to talk about it that much. But the first phase of this is the unconscious being. The chapter of life where we are still very much asleep. And I'm really tuning into kind of those years that come after childhood, where we got our programs in place, we're doing what we're told, all of the things, unconscious, kind of living by the ego and really developing the identity of who we are in the world. And these unconscious kind of patterns can lead us into reality fields that aren't actually in alignment. It can lead us into moments of feeling darkness because we're like, what the heck is happening? It's really those moments where we go kind of unconscious to experience our reality field reflecting back to us, where we are not fully claiming and remembering ourselves. And yeah, I'm down to kind of keep this one short, but let me know if you want to like just add anything into it. Okay. So the next phase of this is the awakening. And this is when the kind of mirror of reality or the internal world that we are experiencing feels so dense and so not true and misaligned, or maybe we're experiencing the outer reality field of certain systems or institutions where we are fully experiencing kind of darkness reflected outward or experiencing it inward. And this chapter is painful. It can feel really freaking uncomfortable. You meet the darkest edges of your psyche and start to question who it is you are. And this is where we really begin to turn inwards and start to ask ourselves the bigger questions of life. And I do want to point out that this awakening phase, it starts to happen when light, data, truth, information starts to come into your life. And that can be the truth of your own being. It could be truth of something out there, which is usually just reflecting the inner experience of unlocking truth within yourself. And awakening is really those moments that your soul is beginning to like turn on. And you're starting to get a taste of like your consciousness outside of the programs. Or, yeah, I want to leave room for kind of the full spectrum of this, because there's the outer reality, there's the 3D, but then there's also like the very inner experience of the awakening, of starting to understand like who it is you truly are. Like you're beginning to understand like, wow, I'm not my thoughts. I can observe, I can separate, I can feel my emotions without identifying with the stories. This is peace, this is power. It's like getting a taste of that. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just the beautiful imagery that this awakening moment is, because yeah, it really is so unique to every person. There's a different catalyst for every person, but yeah, that image of, it's really the coming together of the inside world and the outside world. And then sometimes we feel that oneness for the first time since we were in the womb or born, and when we were a kid, we kind of forgot about that experience. So you really remember that. And because of that, then there comes the concept of reality as the mirror. So you feel so united with reality, but then you also start to realize, you know, you can't just keep pointing the finger out at everything else. So the finger starts to point back at you. And yeah, it's very beautiful the way that this can catalyze from either realizing, no matter what, the trend in that moment is seeing that things were not as they seemed. And that could be light, dark, middle, up, down, something exposed to you in the government or with health or with just reading a book from Michael Singer. And then you're like, wow, everything is different now.
Yeah.
You wake up to something, some new way of seeing the world. And therefore you are faced with you are invited on the quest of shifting more and more perspectives that you once thought were just the way things are.
Yeah. And as you shift the perspective, you start to allow in more, your awareness widens, and it can happen in an area over here. It can happen maybe more generally. It can happen towards the universe. It can happen towards yourself. And I'm just getting this visual of light kind of filtering in and allowing the light to shine outward, where, yeah, you're just no longer in the dark. And there's awareness, there's data, there's information. Like that's all that light is. It's information floating around this quantum reality. You have opened yourself up to interpret that data.
Right. Yeah. And I just want to add here, if you're listening to this, know that basically if you go approximately 100 episodes back, that's like the main, like you're going to see throughout all these phases we're talking about, that this whole podcast has been dedicated to this entire journey.
Literally.
So no, if you want to know more basically about certain aspects we're talking about, just go back through the entire 100 episode archive. It's not an archive, but they're all up. But there's something there for every single part of this.
Literally. Yeah, so with the awakening, for me, I'll talk for myself and then I'll segue it into the healing being, which is that next kind of phase. You get a taste of light and awareness in a way where you deep down know there must be more. And you kind of recognize in yourself that, for me, it was like, wow, I had this kind of awakening towards my own awareness of separating myself from my thoughts and really recognizing who I am as a soul. And then it would kind of fade and I'd go back to the ego, and these moments in life would trigger me and I'd feel super in like an egoic state and kind of living life through a wound and like a program. And you get a taste for that light and then you're like, what the fuck? But what is this other part of me that is like so not light? And for me, it started as this journey of like, okay, then that thing like must go away. Like this part of me must disappear. So for me personally, it was, yeah, I can remember those years being in LA. I started to do the deeper healing work of like trying to like get rid of that part of me. And I thought that was the way to like access more light. And then I had this like awakening moment in LA. I can remember the TikTok I made and what I was wearing. I like wrote this whole thing and I read it off of my journal. And it was just about the moment that you recognize that there was nothing ever to fix and all parts of you were divine. And it kind of brought me into the healing journey from this completely new energy of lightness and play. And yeah, I remember I just had a complete mindset shift around it that would continue to kind of like come in and out and have its waves. But the healing being I'll speak to now is really doing the work of kind of exploring the darkness of the psyche and understanding like, wow, if reality is a mirror, then what's going on here? And ooh, like my nervous system is super dysregulated. And it's like you have your soul awareness that you tapped into in the awakening. And now it's like, okay, the body maybe gets to expand and hold more data and light. So maybe you go into like somatic healing and expanding your nervous system. And for me, it was like very much going into subconscious healing and looking at these programs and patterns that were keeping me in these loops and really bringing higher awareness to bring light into those places of my psyche. And for the healing being, there's very much like a total immersion into all the things and really seeing something out there is going to be the thing that allows me to access more light in here. And it's so divine because those things just show you. They act as the mirrors. Right. You either lean into something and you're like, oh, wait, that wasn't never going to fix me. And you have a moment of like, oh, wait, I'm my own healer. Or you actually find the tools that truly bring you into your power, where they just like always turn you back to yourself, and you find the perfect guides and the walking sticks that literally like awaken more light in you in such a beautiful way. And subconscious healing was and still is like, it's that for me where I'm just able to really lean on that whenever there are moments of darkness. I can just so clearly see where more light is ready to be amplified and what parts of me are just wanting to be held and reminded. So yeah, the healing is really about finding the tools that act as permission slips for you to remember that the light has always been present within you, and it was just a recognition of what was already there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just used that word that I was going to bring in and emphasize even more of, if you look at the word remember and then you space it out like re and member, as if there's all these parts and members of your self and psyche and soul, and you bring them back together. And that's why a lot of the time it's this return to love. It's this heart opening. It's the, letting go of the story and the person you thought you had to be and the way you thought you had to act, all of that. And ultimately it's realizing you were never, it's not like you were ever missing anything, but you almost recollect the puzzle pieces that you were giving away to something or someone. And that's where the remembrance of wholeness comes in. And it just is such a beautiful part of the journey that really, as we'll kind of explain, it continues on with you, but there's definitely like the season that it's really pronounced and it's really the focus, and it's fucking beautiful because it can be such a, just very soft and tender, but also intense. And there's so much learning. It's a huge knowing of the self moment, like a know thyself moment. And I really feel it's almost, there's, a lot of times we're sort of revisiting childhood memories, and it's like we're picking up the pieces that were always there and reconfiguring them into our present moment to lock into that sense of the soul and putting the soul back in the driver's seat, recognizing, oh, that's just my ego driving here. This is actually the soul way. And it is just, it's beautiful. And I will say too, I feel like it's like a beautiful design of the human process where we're meant to forget. Like it's like built into the design that you're born and you come into this world and you go through all these experiences and you forget who you really are. We're always in touch with that, but there's can be really a season that's so potent that we can all look back on of like, the teen years or the college years or whenever. Really, it happens also week to week in micro moments where we like forget that we are these freaking souls. Like you're a soul and you just forgot that. And the healing is when that really all comes back almost like permanently online, for sure permanently, because you have the oscillations that we talk about, but you're remembered, like it's there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good point to point out here, is like every phase of this builds upon the next and it just takes on a new form. Like you're obviously, like for the awakened being, you're never going to stop awakening. You're always going to have new levels of revelations and understandings. Like the amount of data and light that you can experience and take in is infinite. So for that to ever stop expanding is just nonsensical. So feel into that. Like as we go through this, it's not like you stop your healing. Like you heal in different ways, which is what I'm really excited to talk about as we go into these different phases towards the end. Takes on a new flavor. And I will say with the healing being, I just always love to share this term that Bashar uses of permission slips. Bashar is an ET that is channeled by Daryl Anka. And it's really beautiful to remember this because it is not the healing modality that is saving you or doing something for you, or even the healer that you go to. It is acting as a mirror, a permission slip, a walking stick for you to recognize that you've always been divine, truly. And what we're pointing out with this different kind of this shift that we're all experiencing is the moment when the healing, you recognize in yourself that there is no finish line, and you stop waiting to do something because you think that there's this like perfect healed version of you that needs to come alive, and then you'll go do the thing, and then this will happen in life, and then you'll manifest the partner. Like this is what you guys are here for. We're going to tap into this more, but I'm just putting this here because it's matching up to what we're tapping into with the permission slips. Healing takes on a whole new freaking meaning the moment we remember that we've never been broken. Ever. Because now healing becomes this fun thing that we can lean into. I mean, trust me, I get it. There's moments in life that are tragic and challenging that are going to heal us in ways that aren't fun. But what I'm saying is that we get to incorporate healing as this kind of, we lean into our modalities to expand us in ways that feel fueled by joy and inspiration, but we'll get into more of that later. So this next phase is the seeking being, and allow the healing and the seeking to kind of coexist together, because I do feel like these are kind of yin and yang vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to drop us into the seeking being?
Perfect. Thanks for catching my thought wave on that one, that I wanted to leave this one. Thanks. The seeking being. Honestly, I have a very special place in my heart as a seeking being. I think anyone who has a one line is going to really understand this. Yeah. Everybody relates to this, but I feel like it's like an even more pronounced aspect. But the seeking being, you've been on this journey, right? You had this healing being, this healing season, this remembering. And what happens then is it's literally like your eyes go a little wider and you're like, whoa, there's a lot in this reality field for me to explore. And you're like, wow, okay. Oh, I suddenly have space to explore this interesting thing and this teaching. And I just woke up my passion for this. And you really become what I would describe as like the apprentice of life. And a lot of times, many of you will resonate with this. You literally find like masters and mentors or authors or YouTubers or whatever it is that you go and you learn from. But the key with the seeking here is the word, the seeker, right? Which is having this sort of idea of like your eyes are on the lookout for something. And in that journey, you truly learn a lot. You're led by this curiosity, and it also is starting to show you evidence of what's possible. And it's oftentimes when we find expanders and we find examples of like, oh, wow, this person is living this type of life that I've always wanted to live, or this teacher is talking about the exact thing that, I'm so interested in. It really just feels good in my body. It resonates. And you very much find yourself in that apprentice feeling of soaking up, learning, reading a lot of books, deep diving. And like Nikki said, it can be very much in tandem with the healer being and the healing season, because often as we learn something, it illuminates, learn something new, it illuminates something within you. And it really is like the part of the journey that feels like, okay, there's been this coming back to like a wholeness. And then it's like, ooh, like I want to stretch. I want to start to explore more. And it can get a bit more playful. And yeah, it truly is the student hat, the apprentice hat that you're wearing. And a really beautiful, divine piece of this is also that you can be seeking so much that you're very much looking outside of yourself for an answer or a place to find yourself to then finally be like, oh, okay, here, like this is good, this works. And it's keyword divine, because you are really like, I literally am just like picturing all of us like running around and like trying different things and getting kind of like the hit of like, ooh, cool, like this person talked about this. But you are mainly interpreting, maybe you can chime in here, I feel like you can pick up on this stream I'm on, but you are really starting to, there's a bit of a separation going on between you and what you are seeking. And it's very much you moving toward it with the thought of, once I finally find what I'm seeking, something will change. And there's going to be a key switch here. Before I get to that, Nikki, I would love for you to continue painting this picture, because this is a really beautiful part of the experience that I know so many of our community can resonate with, and that we both resonate with, and to really give the proper kind of airtime to what this dynamic is and what is also being explored on a consciousness level here.
Yeah, I'm imagining Like, I always get that analogy of the gut microbiome with all the different like little beings in it. And it's like, imagine one of them like bumping into books on like learning how the gut works and then being able to like zoom out and see it from like the higher perspective. And then there's just like this moment where you start to feel into the fact that you're never gonna know. Like, you get okay with just not knowing because you realize that it's infinite information and it can go in this direction and that direction. And oh my God, now I'm learning about this and that. And there's a divine reason that we're not even recognizing that we're a part of the gut yet. Like, that's the thing I want to highlight here with this analogy is like that little microbe is not seeing that it actually holds all of the answers within its own little piece of being the whole.
Yes, and that those teachings and the things that you're really resonating with are resonating because they're clicking in with a fractal, a thing that already exists in you and makes it possible for you to even find that in your field.
Right. You carry those codes. And I want to just highlight here that when you hear something and it just feels like a knowing and a remembering, it's because it is. And the seeking phase can feel so exciting because you're literally like unleashing inner knowings within yourself through other people, through books, through the podcast, through us. Like, we're just reflecting back to you your own inner wisdom of what it is that you know, and it like unleashes something within you. And I would say that like you don't stop seeking. I guess I should speak for myself. Like, I definitely will be an explorer of this realm. I shouldn't say forever because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but like I love this.
Yes, for sure.
And yeah, do you have something coming through that you wanted to add to that before I keep going on that train of thought?
No, you can keep going because I was gonna get to the point of like with the switch that happens, but you keep going.
Yeah, I feel like with the seeking, you divinely are in an imbalance to unleash a certain amount of knowing within yourself, where then you refine and start to choose, let's say like the teachers or the masters. Like, this is how I feel with myself. I now lean on the mentors and the guides and the teachers that just always bring me back to like me as my own guru, you know?
Yeah.
And that refinement is something that happens through the container of the shift that you'll now paint the picture of what happens with the next phase. And then we'll go back and tie the knot on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is the one that's like, it really is tied together and makes sense sort of in the context of the next one. But yeah. So this is so beautiful. As you are seeking, sometimes the energy you can be in is where the mentors, teachers, guides, authors, creators, you kind of look at them like you're looking up at them, and you're the apprentice and they're the master, and they know stuff that you don't, which is true for a time, maybe, right? That's great. We learn, people guide us, they expand us. All of a sudden, the apprentice, I'm going to use this analogy, an apprentice who is working with a sword master who makes swords and is like a metal worker for swords. The apprentice has been studying, has been making the swords like the master is telling him to, and is working and working. And then all of a sudden, one day, the apprentice starts to get his own ideas of how to make swords. And he's like, wait, I think I'm ready to consider myself as a master and to tell my sword master, hey, I have some ideas about how to make my own type of swords. And I've never seen this type of sword. Like, what do you think about this idea? And in this moment, the apprentice and the student realizes that they are ready to quote unquote shift out of being a student to be a master. But what's actually happening is you're remembering that you yourself have this within you. And the seeker now transforms into a creator being, a creator being that realizes all of these teachers and guides were never above them, but now they become your peer and they become an equal to you as you realize all that you have sought out was within you. And not only was it within you, you were meant to seek it out to then have it come back to you to wake up your own source, literal source of raw materials. And now you are ready to create on your own. And the key switch here is the moment of realizing that not only do you get to learn and expand and have others guide you, but you now have something to guide others with and to contribute to this world. And this is the awakening of the creator being. And I have full body chills because this right now is the wave of consciousness passing through so many of us and through Earth. And it is not just a creator being, it is what Nikki pointed out at the beginning of the creator consciousness. Because also what the seeker is graduating to is realizing that all that they have desired is something that they too can access from within. And when you access that from within and you realize, holy effing shit, I too am a creator. I too am a master, and I'm here to hone a craft and create my own version of it. And that is the awakening of the creator being that realizes there was nothing outside of them that they actually needed to get and to install into themselves to then achieve something. There was a wholeness that they remembered in their healing journey. There was a oneness that they remembered in their awakening. And there was this beautiful expansion of their consciousness that happened in the seeking that now rolls up into one as the creator being.
Holy shit. Where do you feel like genius ties into this?
It's the moment of realizing what made it even possible for you to have resonance and to learn and to find the teacher and the craft and the vision that you think is that is interesting to you, that you felt called to, that what made that even be a thing is that you came here with energy already packed in, ready to go, with a fully formed consciousness that just needed the right spark and catalyst and life experience and mirror moment to literally have a mirror and then all of a sudden see yourself in it and realize that you've been carrying this with you all along. And so the genius awakens when they realize it's like the teacher, the lecturer is up there and you're writing in your paper and all of a sudden you veer off path. And you realize, oh, this is my path now. And you've been following the path of other teachers that showed you that there was even a path. Because that's the fucking beauty of being in the seeking, is you're like, oh my God, there is so much possible for me. And then it's the moment that a beautiful mistake happens or a twist in the path. And all of a sudden you come to the untrodden woods and you're like, oh, this is where my epic begins.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That is so beautiful. And I'm just honestly giving myself a moment. And also you guys, I can just feel how this is probably impacting you all right now. And I even said this before when we were kind of tapping into a few of the messages that we were receiving before we hit record, that moment is going to hit for you guys listening. The moment you recognize that you have your own freaking genius. And there is something inside of you that you could sit here on this microphone with us and share with us. And I don't even want to kind of box it into like speaking and teaching, and because that's not even what it is. It's like an essence. It's an energy. It's a way of being that you hold the codes to. There's such a divine part of the path where we forget that. And then we recognize that we too are antennas for receival, where your beautiful divine channel has always been receiving this flow, this stream, this infinite data stream. And now you get to do something with that. And that is what we are now tapping into with the creator being. Let's like really drop into this now and start to share kind of how this impacts our path and what you and I have been tapping into. And something I want to share is a little bit more of the collective energies of why this is happening right now, and start to add a little bit more color to that. Yeah. Before I move on to that, do you have anything else that you wanted to share from this stream that you're in right now?
I think all I'm feeling called to say is no matter where you're at right now, you also always have the choice to turn this on. Because this is actually just who you really are.
Yeah, it's just like a realization.
The creator being is actually just what you were born as. Like we're all just circling back to it finally.
Yeah. I was reading in a book about the history of humanity, and it was just talking about forgetting that humanity has gone through with this wave of a lack of information, wave of darkness. And you look at the past few decades and really zoom in to humanity in that time frame. And honestly, even before that, just this kind of blanket of darkness that started to keep us asleep to our own powers, where we lost sight on the fact that we could build our own realities. And we see this very much in like corporate rat race vibes, where people are very much forgetting like, okay, I'm a sovereign being. I can go out and build a life for myself. I don't need to. What I wrote down is the awakening of the creator being and creator consciousness is really realizing that we no longer need to live to support and build up a paradigm that we don't even believe in. And this is something that I wanted to tap into because it really paints the wider picture of why so many of us are feeling this right now. And we've been feeling it forever, that the old system is crumbling. But even furthermore, it's like, okay, yes, and what are we going to do about it? Yes, and let's just like create and play and have fun in this infinite realm where we're just remembering, did I even ever have to fight that? Or am I just like living in another paradigm of, like this is what we're getting at, is you are now recognizing that you are here to contribute to the building of a completely new paradigm. And it takes place in your home. It takes place in your own being. It takes place in your own energy field with your family, with your friends. It's that right there. And when we think about creating, essentially what we're doing is we're opening up our channels to really tap into inspiration and to heart-led wisdom and guidance and data and light. And we're just taking that, not even taking it, receiving it and having it flow through. We're flowing through it. It's like just this mishmash of just data and light and information. But yet you are the being that gets to take that data and filter it through your own essence and perceptions and your beingness that allows it to come into form in some way, whether it be building your homestead or building a family or starting that business or painting a piece of art in your bedroom by yourself. You are connecting in with these energetic states and these frequencies and just data, light, information, and bringing it into your channel and allowing it to be birthed into this quantum, infinite reality field, infinite quantum reality field. And when you think about that, the energetics of like up there coming here, and I know I'm just like painting this very kind of like linear picture, but just for the sake of understanding, think about how the creator being is so in the knowing that they are their own genius, that they are their own channel, that their creations matter. They're acting on them. They're living in the present moment. They're understanding that they are contributing, and they are contributing through the creations. They carry the freaking codes. And expand your mind when it comes to what you're labeling as a creation, because we are creator beings. We're creating at every freaking second. We create breath, we create movement, we create sound, we create physical 3D things. Like really start expanding into this realm of like, okay, anything, all, just everything is a creation. And you are an artist contributing to this reality field in so many beautiful ways, as you always have been. It's not like, oh, you're turning on your creator abilities and now you're a creator. You've been creating this whole time. And now you're using your genius to create. You're using your unique essence to create. You're not just regurgitating like the paradigm that was fed to you that didn't even feel good to you, because that's what was happening when we were asleep, is like we're being creator beings for paradigms that we don't even believe in. Like we are so powerful that I don't even want to say like they, powers that be, but it's like step out of the world where your abilities are being kind of used in a way that you don't actually, you wouldn't, if you read it on paper, you wouldn't agree with it. You wouldn't sign the dotted line.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew that you were creating with your consciousness, your energy, your beingness, your genius, what is it that you would write down on a piece of paper that you want to contribute to building with that essence? And this is really where I want to invite this energy of just fucking play in, because this is what I've been tapping into in my own life, is like, it's time to play. We're in the sandbox. We're building the paradigm. We're finding our people. We're finding our community. We're seeing their genius. We're connecting with everyone on such a different level of really seeing like, wow, we're building a fucking world together. And now we're in it, and it's time to literally play. Truly play.
Wow, I was just getting so many. I'm starting to see what the next like couple, some of like the series, if you will, in this that we're going to do, because what we're tapping into right now is, it's a whole paradigm of how to, a way to exist, a way to be. This is why Rick Rubin, his book is called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. It's a literal like form of existence that you just opt into. And I can feel how much now many of the concepts that you already know are going to take on a whole different form. Like, for example, when we talk about the chakra system and where inspiration comes from, and you being this channel, and we start to break down the mechanics of that so that you can tune into it even more for your creative venture, your vision of life, of business, of whatever. And the best part is, it's fucking natural, because this is how you were built to be. And that's why leaning into play and lightness is what allows more and more space for it to move through without even having to try. And this is also where something we've been tapping into is like, it's just basically being like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good on that. I get it. Doom, gloom. We could go on about that all day, but you know what? I'm good. It is what it is. We understand. What do we want to create? What world do we want to live in? What vision is sitting in your heart and in your third eye? You're going to see how that vision is as real as the table that you can touch. Mm-hmm. And when you start to live through that lens, everything changes. And life itself, like you said, is a creative act. And the challenges that come up are not a problem. They are just a little spice and a plot twist that is going to just enhance even more what you're creating. It is a completely different way of existing, and it is in alignment with the natural forces of the universe, which is why life gets magical and miraculous on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And surrender becomes very natural. Letting go becomes very natural. Putting in the effort when it's time. It all becomes a very natural way of being because this is what you were built to be. And then this very powerful self-sustaining loop starts where your genius expands and the joyousness expands. And because your joyousness is expanding, your genius expands. And then you get a new idea and you literally find yourself on this upward spiral and you're learning lessons. And then healing takes on a completely different context. And all of a sudden, the formula and linear sense of first this, then that, it becomes one dance. It's a dance. The whole thing, Alan Watts would sometimes say, it's a dancing thing. This whole thing is a dancing thing. It's a fireworks show. And now you are locking into you being one with that process.
Yeah, wow. I'm getting an F1 analogy visual coming.
Oh my God, let's go.
Why does this always happen? It's you.
It's been a while since we had an F1 analogy.
Yeah, I'm feeling into what you're saying of just how, I mean, this is what we were teaching in the portal, these powerful lessons on what really happens naturally as you lean into the creative act. But I was getting this visual of like, even with healing, it's like you have your car in the shop and maybe it's in the garage and it's uplifted on the thing and you're down there fixing it, turning the wheels, perfecting it. And what we're inviting you guys into is to go fucking drive. And your team is so ready to be there for when you need a little pit stop and it happens naturally, 2 seconds, fucking gone. Not that, look, I'm not saying it has to be like a time thing. That's not what I'm saying. But it happens as a part of the flow. Yeah. And what we want to kind of step out of is the reality where you're just hanging out in the garage, where you're just hanging out in the fixing, thinking that the car is just going to somehow magically get on the track. It's right there. Drive it over and start freaking going. As in, get present, connect to your own channel, receive an idea and do something about it in a way where you're just not giving a shit about the effect, results. That's the word I'm looking for. And it is just the creative act of being one with your life in a way that you fall in love with the process of living and being so fully immersed in the now. And I'm having these like very beautiful moments of like ecstasy as I'm kind of making juice in the morning and walking my dog with my husband, and even just like waking up in the morning where I'm like, wow, every single thing is a creative act. And when you lean in to life through that intention and that level of awareness, you just feel like you're winning at everything. You're like, we can all do this. Let's just all win together. Let's just all sink in to our hearts and be with what is, while also understanding that you're one with that reality field. And the cycle is you contribute. your essence contributes. So it's not just you cutting the fruit to make your juice, but it's like, what is the fruit receiving in that moment? And what is the juice receiving? And then how does the juice get passed off to your husband? And then what energy is it carrying? And it's like the whole thing is a fucking canvas. And yeah, like honestly, like makes me even emotional to think about, because you realize like how powerful you are with creating your reality, where again, there's times to go in the garage. There's times to lean into tools and practices and to even learn how to fucking fix the car. Like to learn how to heal is powerful. To learn the tools that you know you're going to have in your back pocket, like to even be able to go and get those tools. It's like, that's life-changing stuff. Because then when you're out there on the race track, you know what it is that you like to lean on. You know how to pick up those tools, but it's in this flow where you understand the motion is always present, and you will know when to bring the car back into the garage, right? Like that's just not even something people have to think about when they're the mechanics working at F1. Like it's like, okay, the car is fucking wrecked and turned over. Like we need a new car. And they bring it into the garage, and it's just natural. There's no overthinking about like, it's just being one with the flow and the acceptance and honoring the challenges and understanding if you're in the garage. Look, I was just in the freaking garage for a long time, and I'm so glad I was, because I came out shiny as fucking hell and I'm ready to fly. And I'm just feeling into the just the how beautiful it is to know yourself, like to know your car. Because even as we speak, it's like you guys know yourself. You know what it is, what kind of chapter you're in right now. If you're in a deep healing phase, like freaking lean in, hang out in the garage, shine up your car, fine tune this. Like you know your path. You know. We don't know, you know. We're speaking to collective energies. So yeah, I just wanted to add that part here, but this is so freaking powerful.
I just need to say I'm obsessed with this F1 analogy. It's really hitting for me. It's tracking. I'm seeing the car go around, and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you hit the track and you forgot to put a wheel on. It's okay. You make it back. And if the car crashes, all good, dude. We live in a reality where you got infinite parts. So just keep going. Like, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, truly. Yeah. Maybe we'll leave another episode to tap into. Yeah. I just want to add a little in here about like what we tapped into in our portal call. I won't dive into the details of it here. We were really dropping deep into the energetics of like how beautiful it is to be in this flow and to allow your car to kind of go around the tracks, where things just become intuitive and natural, but you also expand through inspiration. And I just really invite you guys to check in with yourself on when if you are right now feeling ready to expand through inspiration, because this is the calling that you're receiving, to get out on the track and to activate and remember your own genius and to let it be a journey, because it's fucking fun to explore what that is. And I'm excited for this series of episodes that we're going to tap into. I feel like I can sense some of the stuff that wants to come through, and it's big. This is like big stuff. I feel like we're literally all riding a wave together that, holy crap. Oh, I remember what it is I wanted to say. I wanted to say that when you were pointing out that it's like there's the darkness and this, and what I wanted to say is over the next few years, especially like what a lot of other intuitives are tapping into is from now to 2027, there's going to be a lot of shifts. And I'm referencing an energy reading from Lee Harris, where he was kind of alluding to, he was doing a reading with an astrologer and they were tapping into the rest of the year. And I just want to say that there's going to be these really beautiful moments that act as opportunities for awakening. And what I was referencing at the beginning of the episode with many people kind of interacting with this energy in different ways is that you're going to have people in your community, maybe your family, that are going through different phases of their awakening where I just want you guys to claim to yourself that what we're tapping into of being in this creator consciousness is like you guys are building realities and putting out energy that are going to act as catalyst for awakening to those that are going to be ready to receive them. And to just know that it no longer suits you to hang out and swim in the darkness because you are needed elsewhere. And it's not to say that we don't hold compassion and have awareness around the freaking chaos that is happening in the world. Like, yeah, but just know, like, ask yourself, how do you play a role in this? And are you the architect of the new energy and kind of like the new paradigms that we're all building here? Because then you're going to very quickly understand where it is your energy may be leaking into places that it actually isn't serving you, and to check in with where the ego may be thinking like you still need to lean into this energy or like attach to this shadow or like psychoanalyze this person. It's like, okay, we're good. And now let's build, let's create, while also holding in our hearts that there is a purpose here for everyone. It's not just for you. It's not just for your family. While it can seem and feel very inwardly focused and personal, there is a collective goal here. Remember the microbe in the gut. Like, we are literally one with this entire ecosystem, and your energy that you are contributing into your creations is also for all of the beings that are kind of going through their own awakenings, maybe through difficulty or whatever it is, that you're creating the safe haven for them to energetically align and come home to.
Yeah. I'll just plug, I think it was the off-record episode after the 111 episode, the empath graduation one. So I think it would be off-record number 5 that you talk more about your personal experience with this. Is that correct?
Yeah, it'll be episode 5, off-record episode 5.
Yes, which I think by the time this comes out, it will already be out.
Yeah.
So go check that out if you want to know more about the specifics of what Nikki was just talking about, because I believe we went deeper into that and you share a lot on the personal front on kind of that switch with the whole dynamic you just talked about.
Right. And we're referencing episode 5 with our exclusive content. So if you're listening to this on Apple Pod, you're not going to see it listed. But if you're listening on Spotify, you'll see it listed that we have exclusive content. And yeah, I definitely drop more into like my personal story. And if you're interested in the kind of graduation of the empath, of what I'm tapping into now, of like, okay, not tapping into the darkness, psychoanalyzing, like really using your intuitive abilities to hold visions and tap into light. We did a whole episode on that is actually right before that. That's not exclusive. Which is episode 1. Wait, what is it?
Number 111.
Oh, that's what you were just referencing.
Yeah, right?
Sorry, yeah. I was thinking that you were referencing a different episode. Yes, it is 111. I'm mixing up numbers. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we say off record, that's the exclusive podcast, which if you're on Spotify, you'll be able to see that.
Yeah. You can also find that if you just go to omis.com/oasis. There's all the info there for how to get in on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really awesome stuff. Okay. So yeah, I'm feeling complete and ready to go into a little bit of a closer now. How are you doing?
I'm feeling good, dude. I've been feeling locked in.
Same.
Locked in. I've been looking at you through this Zoom box and I've been like, oh my God. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if sometimes you get, like focus is happening and it's like the rest of the world melts away. Like that's the feeling I've been getting during this episode.
Yeah. I literally feel like we were just floating on our own planet for a second.
Yeah. So yeah, holy shit. I'm pumped. I'm happy that you're here listening. Comment, guys, tell us what's up. Comment on the episode. DMs are good, but like, let's also start a chat. Like, if you're on Spotify or YouTube, start a chat underneath this and beep bop in there about what's been coming up for you, because there's so many of you. Like, let's get the momentum going, because this is how we amplify even more this consciousness. So drop your comments below.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. Stay tuned. Get freaking ready. It's party time.
Dude, the next transmission is going to be insane.
Yeah, the Oasis transmission specifically. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are new to us, I will drop here that we have a few different offerings that you can find out more about what we do on more of like a live stream type of vibe. But we have a membership that's called the Oasis, and you can find out more below. It's in the show notes, omis.com/Oasis. And there's 2 tiers. One of them is just our exclusive content, but the second tier also involves a monthly live stream where the conversation is really fueled by the collective energies and by you guys. So we tap into questions, we drop in as a community, and it's a very like kind of channeled transmission with Bella and I, where we're really tapping in as a community and answering questions, integrating, dropping deeper into the episode topics. They're freaking amazing. So definitely check that out. And everything really takes place on your podcast player. So you can listen to the replays. You'll get an exclusive link to like a show that you can add to your podcast player, and you'll also get access to Off Record, which is our exclusive content, where we literally drop you deeper into how we are integrating all of this information and running our business, and honestly just living our lives with this information. We share more of our kind of, it's like a peek behind the curtain more into our personal lives and business. So definitely check that out. It's fucking epic. If you are new here, welcome in. You have found a home. We are quite literally building a paradigm where we're activating each other's genius and creating this epic world of beings that are truly forging their own path. Shout out to our first live event, FYOP. Yeah. And if you resonate with us, definitely feel free to drop a comment. Welcome in to the world of Om, and we are so freaking excited that you're here. And yeah, we love you guys. Stay tuned for the rest of the series that is to come with this. We're excited to tap in. And yeah, you have anything else?
Nope. I'm ready to go drive.
To the track. We've been driving this whole time.
We've been going, dude.
All right, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.